Take me to your leader. Welcome to the Headbangers at the Hangar podcast. I am your host, although a bit compromised this week, your host Andrew Mercer. Welcome to the show. As always, we are sponsored by Monster Energy and Spotify. So I am going to keep this extremely brief. I am sick. I do not feel good. I am very dizzy, and I haven't had a beer in about 4 days. So this is not a good sign. My daughter Gabriella, I've mentioned her on the show many times. She's behind me there. She's 16 months old. She's in daycare. I don't think this was daycare's fault, this one, but she is constantly sick. She had really bad cold all of last week, and starting Wednesday we had to stay home with her. My wife stayed home with her Wednesday. I was home with her Thursday. Kind of did a split Friday. It was just a long week. Me and my wife both felt great last week. Gabby was sick, and then you know how it works. Although we did enjoy Halloween, by the time Halloween rolled around on Sunday, she was completely healed, and I was feeling great. My wife was feeling great, but then we both woke up Monday morning, me and my wife, and we were like, all right, here it is. So now we're sick. Gabby feels great, which is awesome. By the time me and my wife heal, she'll be sick again. So they just pass it around like crazy. But anyway, man, I have a really good interview I'm gonna play on the show. It's with Gilson of Pink Dreamz. Very interesting interview. It was my longest interview I've done to date. We talked for about an hour and a half. I've known Glenn for a couple years now. He's a great dude. It was a good interview. And before that, again, just want to thank Miles from Our Fears for the last episode. It was a great episode. Shared a lot with us. Also, Miles, I think I read this correctly, but congratulations. You've been with your lady friend for 9 years now. Got a nice little family over there. Congrats, man. Great episode. Great guitarist. If you missed it, go back on my page. Great interview. Our Fears, killer band. But anyway, and also, last bit of promo. For those of you who do not know, I'm in the process of recording an album. It's called Sex, Drugs, and Avocado, #Fear the Pit. I'm planning on releasing it tentatively in the year 2030. But that's going pretty well. I have 2 tracks that I'm done recording. I'm going to do all the mixing and all that kind of stuff after I do all the recording. I'm just going to record all the guitars, vocals, bass, stuff like that. Throw them in my computer. And then when every song is done, then I'm going to hit the computer and just spend a couple weeks doing the mixing and stuff. But so far I got 2 songs in the books. The track Roll It Into Escrow, I have that done and recorded. And I also recorded a track called Guy Fieri. And if you missed it, go on YouTube. I just put up a video of me playing a song that's going to be put on the album. It's called Cats. So it's not under the Headbangers at the Hangar channel. You have to search it in YouTube. Just type in Cats, Andrew Mercer. It's a nice short 2.5-minute song, an ode to cats, because who doesn't love cats? And if you're raising your hands, then that means you like dogs, and that means just like dogs, your brain is probably half the size of a pea. But anyway, so this week we interviewed Glenn from Pink Dreamz. Now, this is a heavy metal show for sure, but before I'm a metal fan, I'm a fan of music in general. Now, Pink Dreamz is a, I guess you would call it hip hop. It's a hip hop group. Glenn has a lot of ties and inspiration from metal growing up. I find them a little bit different from the whole hip hop, R&B, rap kind of thing. They incorporate instruments in there, which they do play. Glenn is a guitarist. I need a drink of water. He's a guitarist. The guys, they know how to play instruments, bottom line, which I appreciate. You know, the reason why hip hop and then pop, all that kind of stuff, it loses me. I don't feel like the integrity is there. I feel like there's a lot of acts that are just, you know, somebody's pressing a button for them and then they auto-tune or whatever. I do like some rap stuff. Eminem, I'm a big fan of Eminem. 50 Cent's great. Jay-Z. I like some Kanye, but not a huge fan of it. But I will say, I can appreciate it. I do see the skill in it. It's just if I'm picking genres, it's not my favorite. And I also do not like the people, you know, surrounding hip-hop and rap, R&B. There's always people, oh, I don't like it because all they do is talk about killing each other and it's too much cursing. You know the general stereotypes. I think it's lazy. I think it's lazy to say stuff like that. Now, if you don't like it, that's fine. But just to not give, and this goes for any genre, say just not to give it a shot just because of the title. And that's a lot of that goes for country too. That's just laziness. Do your homework. But anyway, I'm going to play some Pink Dreamz stuff, and then we'll get on to the interview. This is their newest track. It's called The Feels.
She's status, all-star. Hey, like to spit the type of shit.
They do that. It's funny that the Pink Dreamz, every song these guys record, they have that little snippet in there. Which Glenn, he's a great marketer. You can tell they really put the time into it.
Shit that gives you the feels. This is the type of shit that makes you wish you did it too. Ooh, say I'll do better, but you never do.
That's The Feels. There's a new. They just recorded a music video for that. It's on YouTube, so check that out. The Feels. This is their biggest track on Spotify. It's around 22,000 listens, which is awesome. This one's called Jellyfish, and this is the first Pink Dreamz song I heard.
Dreams.
Pink Dreamz.
Lord, forgive my dark side. In the back corner, sitting bar side, I hear constant conversation. The hate's misplaced, but very blatant. I got thoughts that I'm not saying. I speak my mind and receive payment. I drop a line, but why would I waste it? A sleeping giant, why would you wake it? Don't talk about it unless you really do it. Walk up in the club and act stupid. Walk up in the club and talk stupid. Why I'm never in the club, but you stupid. Sorry, gotta tell you, bitch. You are super jealous, bitch. Why? I don't know why, but you're a bitch. And I guess your girl is bi, cause you're a bitch. No backbone jellyfish. I know where to float.
That's Jellyfish. Glenn's a little mixed about that track. They're, if you listen to their catalog, they're very they're a very positive band. A lot of inspirational stuff, motivational stuff. But as he was explaining in the interview, which you'll hear shortly, they do have a dark side. He doesn't really like it, but it does come out. This is my favorite Pink Dreamz song. It is called Little Homie. Pink Dreamz.
I used to give rides to. Dollar menu pulling up at the drive-thru.
Love the beat.
Split a blunt and a couple bucks for gas. Split a Dutch, sharing stories and a couple of laughs. Little homie always riding Arizona iced tea. If you're fighting little homie, then you gotta fight me. Little homie on probation, so we're ducking police. Little homie on probation, so I'm holding the weed. Little homie, that's my dude, that's my friend, that's my guy. Little homie got his back, and I think he's got mine. Little homie got his strap, hit a leg.
Here comes the
and
chorus.
stars. I'm just waiting in the back. All I gotta do is try.
It's all good, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good, it's all.
Homie seen the come up, I don't need to ask for half. That created expectations if I'm looking back. Little homie, look at all the things that I have. Little homie thinking which things can I grab. Now I made him mad, gotta watch my back. I never sleep, eyes on my stack. Rise and repeat, gotta bring it back. Little homie,
Alright, so I'm
little
gonna
snake.
play. This is the last thing I'll play by these guys.
all good.
Again, check them out. Pink Dreamz.
It's all good, it's all good.
Glenn is also in this. It was hard to explain, and he had kind of a hard time explaining it too. But he does so much stuff, Glenn. He's Pink Dreamz. He collaborates with his friends. He's got a couple guys doing that. Mainly just one guy now, but it started out multiple at first. And then he also does My Dreamz, which is the same kind of music, but it's more of his solo kind of thing. So check them both out. Pink Dreamz and My Dreamz, both on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you can get good music. It's on there. And this is the last one I'll play. It's not really a track, and I discussed this with Glenn in our interview, but this is, well, I'll just let you listen to it. Here we go. This is called Introduction. A little insight into
Once upon a time,
Glenn's life here.
there was a boy who lived in a house with his mom and his dad and his sister. And when his nana died, he remembered going to the funeral and coming home and eating some bread she had baked. And he tried lots of things, like karate, taekwondo, and some little league t-ball and football and skateboarding. But then his parents bought him a guitar. And he liked to play guitar. And he got older and he started listening to the Dylans and Shakurs, and he realized that music was a vessel to make the world better, and that music was magic. And there's not a lot of magic left in the world. There's plenty of magic left in the world. And he wrote, and he wrote, and he wrote, and he hoped.
My favorite line coming up right here.
And he always wanted to be a rock star. But somewhere inside, he always kind of knew that he was already a rock star. It's a crazy life.
So without further ado, we'll get to the interview. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe to the show. If you know what? Don't subscribe to the show. Don't subscribe to the show. But if you want to subscribe. But don't subscribe to the show. The Headbangers at the Hangar. Andrew Mercer right here. Sorry I'm sick. Hopefully I'll be better by next time. I got some really surprising guests coming up. I don't want to say any names because you know how things are. Sometimes they fall through, but I got some major names about to come on the show. Very excited about. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you Monster Energy. Thank you Spotify. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Gilson of Pink Dreamz. All right, Glenn, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you. You're one of the hardest working music guys I know. So, I'll just list off the things that I know about you off the top of my head. You and your wife run your own photography and video company. You are in the band Pink Dreamz. From what I understand, you have a solo project called My Dreams, right?
Yeah, it's so complicated, dude, and like, I'm here to clear it up, and I'm a big fan of the show, and to be honest, I'm really pushing for like the 2 or 3 part like thing here. So like, I hope that like we could just like knock out the story one thing at a time, and talk about like metal and extraterrestrial life, because all that stuff interests me as well.
Yeah, well, hey, we'll go as long as you want today. Then if we got to do 2 or 3 parts, we'll do it. No problem.
Yeah, I'm about it, man.
So tell the people what you do. So I kind of listed off some of them. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, so music wise, it's always been my thing. Grew up, and to be honest, it started in the same spot as like a lot of us, like in a garage, with just like a band, just guitars and like instruments that like our parents had got us, coming from like a area of privilege, but just like that's what it was. So, like, we were jamming out, and we started as like a punk band. And I think the big thing is like when you go to a concert and you see somebody jam at a show, and you're there, and you're like, I bought tickets for this, and you leave, and you always want to be them after. And it's like, yeah, I'm a little obsessed.
How old were you when you got your first instrument, and what was it?
We started off in a punk band around like 12 or 13. We all got like instruments, and we had like a garage that we would hang out in Otisville, and it was 4 of us, and there was like the bass, and we had 2 guitarists and like a drummer. And we did like a lot of covers and stuff like that, and we had like girls from high school come and watch us play, and then it just stuck.
So I'm 31. You'll have to remind me how old you are, just so we get a.
I'm 30. I'm 32.
All right, so we're the same age. So what were some influences that you guys were trying to recreate in the garage?
Oh, definitely like Starting Line, Blink-182 was a big one. We would just like try to hit licks and just listen to the guitar riffs, and we would always come back to band practice with the new like Rufio type, the fastest thing, the most intricate like guitar maneuvers that we could all muster up to just one up each other. And then band practice went along, and then as time evolved, we started writing songs, and then I feel like some of us stuck with it because of our inhibitions to write music and write songs and continue on with that. So definitely like screamo, emo, definitely metal. In the beginning, it was just like the hard stuff.
What kind of bands? Name them off.
Well, just like Crazy Story, just to like earn my comeuppance of like, I think there should be like a 3-part series. My first fight ever was at a Hatebreed concert.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, so
you just told me it happened. You didn't give me the specifics, so let's hear about it.
Well, we were at a Hatebreed concert.
And how old were you?
I was like 15.
Okay.
And then my dreams started with Johnny. Johnny was kind of like my right-hand man. He was like my bass guy, and we would go around like playing shows at like the Corner Stage in Middletown and stuff like that. But we were at this Hatebreed concert, and I was with Johnny and his girlfriend, and there was some punk, and he was like causing a rift between the people, you know, and just like it's the Hatebreed concerts are wild, you know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
like it just it's
And
what
this was the chance, right?
yeah, Chance Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
And one of the hotheads shoved the girl. So Johnny got all up in the face, and then I got all up in this guy's face, and then he kind of like faked me.
Yeah.
And I put my head down, dude. I just put my head down, I blanked out and just like started swinging. Ended up getting like lifted up out of the chance. Like the bouncers in there were like 5-10 times my size.
Yeah.
Picked me up by like the back, brought me outside, and I was standing outside with like 4 kids. I thought I was fighting one kid, but there's 4 kids out there. So I was like, I think I was like 16 or 15. And I was talking to him, trying to swindle my way out of it. I was like, listen, like, whatever.
Pushing my friend's girl around. I mean, that's.
And they were just like mad at me because they got kicked out of the show too.
Oh.
So anyways, I was just like, oh, trying not to get beat up. And then all of a sudden, 2 huge guys that the bouncers were not going to be able to take care of, bleeding at the head, were getting kicked out. And the bouncers were like kicking them out of the front door. So both of our groups like just like kind of snuck back into the show and enjoyed the rest of the night. So
Nice.
yeah.
You remember what album they were supporting back then? If you were 15 or 16, probably Rise of Brutality.
I would imagine.
Or was it
like,
Perseverance?
yeah, you would probably have like a better recollection or understanding on the game cards of that, but like
Yeah, I came into the metal scene my late teenage years, so I remember the first Hatebreed album that I bought like when was Supremacy. But what you're talking about was before that. It was probably Perseverance or Rise of Brutality. But yeah, I've seen Hatebreed probably 4 or 5 times. Every time at the chance, every time it's an awesome show. I love them. They're one of my favorite metal bands. Especially I'm a runner, and anytime I gotta dig, you put on a Hatebreed song, man. The breakdowns and they're just brutal.
it brings out a different type of energy. And
Yeah.
just, yeah.
For sure.
I mean, dude, the Chance is just like a staple of the area.
Yeah. It's hard to explain to people, especially now. It's kind of it's kind of a shithole. The sound system has never been good. You know, but it's kind of like once you've been there a few times, you get used to it, and you know that it's part of the allure of the Chance. You know what I mean? If you're going there and you see a band that you've never heard any of their CDs before, there's no way you'll be able to make out the vocals. But if you're already familiar with the band, you know, you can catch on to it, you know. But it's not the best quality, but it's ours, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't, you know, truthfully, like I know different. I've been to like a lot of different venues, but just to like the effect of like being up the top tier and then seeing the shithole, it's like it's a dirty place, but that's like where you hop in, you get in that crowd, and you get like up close as you can to the stage, and that dirtiness is what makes it.
Absolutely.
You're just like up there with everybody else's sweat, and the place reeks like sweat of shows past, like but it's that moment, it's that being there. So you can't mistake it, remake it for sure.
I saw Kill Switch Engage there. It was probably maybe 8 years ago, something like that. And I'm not a mosh pit guy. I've never been in a legit pit. I don't like the sweat. I don't like the smells. But I have this friend named Chris. He goes in all the pits, right? So he's at this Kill Switch show. It's packed to absolute capacity. They're over capacity. It's overbooked. And he goes in the pit, and he's down there for the show or whatever. And then there was 4 of us that were there, and he goes in the car afterwards. Bro, the odor, it was foul, man. We were like, dude, bro, you got to take your shirt off. You got to take your shoes off. Like, it was brutal. It was one of the worst smells I've ever smelled.
Yeah, it's dangerous in there.
Yeah.
But you gotta just like, you gotta kind of contort your body to like the flow of like somebody pushing you, and like Matrix style.
Yeah.
Fucking the hooks and the boots coming at you, and yeah, it's like I'm 32 now, so my body doesn't contort those kind of ways that it used to, or withstand the pressure. But you know, it's like, you know, awesome. It's awesome to be there.
Yeah.
And then too, you know, have you've done the loft, right?
Yeah, I've done the loft a couple times.
Have you done the chance?
Yeah, I've done the chance twice. The first time I was with this band where we were not ready. We were supposed to play the loft. It was either we were supposed to play the loft or this other part of the club, which was called the Platinum Lounge at the time, which was like a level below the loft. It was a small room, and we were playing that, and the headliner for that show canceled at the Platinum Lounge. So they were like, okay, well, these guys bailed. We're not gonna have you play here. We're just gonna put you out on the chance. Like, dude, it was a high school band, you know, like, we were not ready. It did not sound good. 2 of my bandmates were totally deer in the headlights. The lead singer, you know, not singing her parts, and you know, and I was the primary songwriter too, so it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, just shoot me at this point. But and then I played there again. Actually, it was maybe a month and a half ago. I have this friend named Frankie. He plays in a band called Rubik's, and they were out a bassist. And yeah, I'm good friends with him. I love their band, and I've always told him. So the bassist they had lined up bailed. So he asked me if I wanted to do it. I was like, hell yeah. So we played a show over there with Junket. You know Junket, right?
Yeah, I've heard of
them.
Rubik.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard of both of those bands. Yeah, of course.
Yep. Yeah, so that was really fun. But yeah, that's probably the biggest venue I've played is the Chance, you know.
Nice,
But
yeah, like a lot of people in our area came up there, like, you know, just like, and you know, a lot of local talent just gets into there and is like able to rock out at those other stages. You know, I've never got a chance to do like the Chance stage, so like, kudos, brother.
Yeah, it's good. The coolest thing is just stepping up there, because I mean, I've seen some big bands, dude. Like, I've seen Stone Sour there. Like I said, Kill Switch. I saw Ted Nugent there a while ago. I've seen a lot of bands. I know like Rob Zombie's played there somehow. Black Label Society. So it's cool to just, you know, share the stage.
Yeah, big time.
That's the coolest thing.
I was into like a lot of indie stuff, and like I remember I had seen Personnel, which is an offshoot of the Starting Line, but kind of like whole different vibe. But Kenny Vasoli is one of my greatest like inspirations, and I saw him play at the Loft, and he did this like cool thing where he just like took his bass and like jumped up and like brought it down. So I got a chance to play the Loft, and just like, you know, same as like you, was like, does it sound good?
Yeah.
Like, jumped up and tried to do that same thing, but like the tip of my guitar like went into like the paneling.
Yes.
So
if you're a tall person, the Loft is not your friend.
Yeah,
because those speakers, they hang down, and like a tall dude, like, you don't even have to be gigantic. Like, if you're over 6 foot and you're not looking, that you'll hit your forehead right on there.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, take me back to the basement. So you guys are playing. You remember the name of this band?
We had so many band names. So the first band name was Losers That Kill, and then we used to walk around like LTK, and then after, and it was just like kind of like a crossroads, dude. But like, I just split myself and went both ways. So at the same time as like we're coming up with the band, I kind of become like influenced by like a lot of like electronic music and like Death Cab for Cutie. And then, too, Kanye West was a huge inspiration. I know it's not metal whatsoever.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like metal to me because like fucking he was like making his own beats,
Yeah.
whatever, and rapping too. So it just kind of split off. And then yeah, we had our rock bands and we were going around like New Paltz and Middletown, like all these places, and then started making like beats too, and like making rap beats too, and making mixtapes and putting them in like the Snokos at Middletown with Ryan. So I had like my buddy Johnny and then Ryan. So it was like Losers That Kill started. We were another band called Vowel. And then kind of like I started writing songs and we called them My Dreams. Me and Johnny called them My Dreams. And then me and Ryan always hung out too. And we were always Pink Dreams before we called it Pink Dreams. Like I would just go under like My Dreams beats or something like that. And then he kind of like got into like working the Fruity Loops, like Reasons, and then like, graduating to like the Logics and going to recording school like you said like you went to too. But yeah, kind of just like two genres and two friends that like embraced different music styles, and yeah, they had the freaking same birthday. So yeah, it's like how it went with that. So yeah.
So what year was this when My Dreams / Pink Dreams was kind of took priority? You were no longer LTK. When was Pink Dreams / My Dreams the project?
So I would like make rap music with Ryan on the side, and we made a mixtape and we had it in like the Sunoco and stuff. And at the same time with Johnny, we were playing out at like places like the Corner Stage, which do you remember the Corner Stage? It was like kind of like right on the main street there, kind of by the school.
Of what, Middletown?
Middletown School. I don't remember where.
No, that's right, man. Yeah, I didn't grow up in Middletown. The only thing I remember though,
Mohegan?
No, I grew up in Dutchess. I moved to Middletown like 6-7 years ago. But I remember in 2014, I played this one venue over here. It was on the main drag. You would remember this. There was an older lady that ran it. Do you remember? Do you remember the place I'm talking about?
It sounds like the Corner Stage. I don't know.
That might be it. Yeah, it was a nice little spot. There was a lot of kids in there. It was like there was no alcohol or anything, but there was just a lot of teenagers in there, which was cool because teenagers weren't really going to shows, but this was one of the places where like they were all hanging out and they were kind of getting into it, which was cool. I think we're talking about the same place. It probably just changed names.
Yeah, we were like in and out like everywhere that you could play. Like we would like literally like pack our bags and drive to like a spot that like I like kind of didn't like coordinate the best and like find out that it was like closed or it's like they didn't have open mics anymore. We would drive like hours to go to these places. And then me and Johnny, around like 2010, we went on, like I just planned this like mad idea of just hitting up open mics, going down the whole coast to Florida and back.
Damn.
And then after that, I got into like a bad car accident, and shit like went to like pure hell after that. It was just like, I remember like the world just felt like hell. Like everything just felt like straight, like I woke up like out of the hospital and started like walking back around, and it was just like fucked. So I went back to Florida, where I went to music school, and moved to Virginia, where I had like my family and stuff. I started my family, and kind of like really started like hitting the music thing up, and like I put out like just going for like, you know, the go to like, I entered a beat contest, and like I got a finalist, and I got to jet up to New York City and go to this beat thing with Ryan Lewis, who made beats for Macklemore.
Okay.
So it was like a beat battle, kind of like to the effect of like rapping, but not rapping. It was like showing you off your beats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, really hit it hard there, and then kind of had like a hiatus of music. And then Ryan kind of hit me up and was like, "Come on, bro, like let's do music again, like this and that." So after that hiatus, and kind of just going through like an effect of like, I feel like I'm too old to get at this anymore.
Yeah.
At 25, here I am, stupid 32. But just like, you know, like Ryan helped me, like, so it's like called Pink Dreamz because of just like, you know, the mix of that. So we're all like starting a new band right now. So you know.
What I'll ask you about that, but so you were doing Pink Dreamz, you said you took a hiatus and you kind of got back to it. Were there any songs that you guys had worked on from before the hiatus where you jumped back into it and they carried back over, or did you kind of just start fresh?
The whole thing like started off, I was just making like EDM. Like I was just kind of making like, I had always, sorry, I got my dog.
That was all right.
So yeah, freaking, I started making, I was just making low-key EDM remixes and showing my buddies. And they're like, "What are you doing? Just like get back into it. Like be my dreams again." You know what I mean? Because after the accident, I went back down to Florida. I kind of like was like my dreams by myself for a little bit.
Yeah.
You just like the same thing like I do with Pink Dreamz. Sometimes I'm like Pink Dreamz by myself for a little bit. Like I like, my buddies are there, but like I can't expect them to be there all the time. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's got like waves of stuff. So I just like to make collaboratives instead of bands. It's just like a collaborative, like, yo, contribute to this like when you can. And I always just like put it like a monkey on my back to like keep it going and like make it going, and to like, because I don't ever feel like I'm at a position right now to not like make music. Like, I feel like I have to be in their face, and like a big part of 2021 and what we've done so far with Pink Dreamz collaboratively is just putting our foot on their necks and being like, dude, we're fucking here. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know if this is, I'm gonna edit this. Like,
dude,
we're leaving the
I do not care about cursing.
Yeah, just like putting our foots on their fucking neck. Like, you can't stop us. And like,
I will say, you guys, I follow you guys on all the platforms. You guys get at it, man. The promo it's spot on. You guys have a picture up, if not every day, every other day. You're always promoting a new single. I know you just put out The Feels and you made a video for it. Like, you guys are at it, dude. You're our promotional gurus.
And you know, it's like to the point of like, I don't know if we'll ever get signed because we are what we are. Well, we got a little deal, and there's like, I have so many like intricate stories of beef with like big names, just being in like the background of all these moments. And I really got a chance to live like my like dreams, and then kind of mix them into like how I like to live my life, like, because you know, it's like, it's a lot. But yeah, we're always doing it, and we don't have anybody telling us what to do. So it's like, really, it's just like we think of like the stupidest, best ideas at the moment, and we just go for it with no shame, because it's like, why would you have shame? So yeah, some of the moments I look back, I'm like cringeworthy, but most of the moments I look back with just like straight pride of like, how did I even think of that? But
yeah, I know what you're talking about too, with being 32, and I don't know if I want to be in a band. It's hard when you get older, man. Like,
it is.
You have to. Your time is so limited, and you have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any free time you got, you have to grab onto it for dear life, and you have to be productive. You hear about people, they'll put on like Facebook or whatever, how they're binging Netflix, or I want to take a nap. It's like, dude, there's so much to do out there. Like, how anybody could sit on any couch for 5 minutes and just stare at a screen. It's such a foreign concept, to me, and to you. I can't even imagine with all the stuff you got going on.
Oh yeah, just always make it a priority. And honestly, it is, I am blessed, because at one point it was all about me and how it made me feel putting out the music. But now we are just so lucky to have like the most loyal support system, who have seen us go from like thousands of likes, because that is something that alters somebody's perception of how they look at music, is how many people have listened to it before, like. So we have had people stick with us like through like thousands of likes, and like, hundreds of people watching our stories, to like, maybe garnishing like 15, 20 likes when we drop a post. So it is about just like challenging myself.
Yeah.
Because I've always felt like if somebody else is doing it better or harder than me, and I wasn't really truthfully born with any like God-given talents, I just wanted it, and I want it, and I want it to a certain point now. But I have seen how being crazy and how being stupid, if you know what I mean, it's like people have done it and been inspired by it, and like it's changed people to a point of like, maybe not a lot of people, but I've seen it change at least a couple of people. So it's just a blessing. It's a blessing and then a curse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But something to always harness and harvest in anybody that wants to be creative in any sort of way, film, audio, or anything like that. It's like necessities.
Yep. I'm gonna give you a little test right now, because I've been doing my homework on Pink Dreamz. I've been listening to you guys since we started, talking. And all right, so what is Pink Dreamz' #1 song on Spotify right now? I know the answer.
Jellyfish, bro.
Jellyfish, yeah.
Jellyfish.
You guys, that song's up around 22,000. Which is,
dude, I was like so nervous about releasing that song, and I like conversated with Ryan, or Pink Beats. So like I would be like the My Dreams, and he would be Pink Beats.
Yeah.
And that's how we came to the conclusion of Pink Dreamz, which is all also a name or like a thing for like eating too much cough medicine. Like
is it?
I've been fighting for the Urban Dictionary definition for 5 years, dude. I'm all about building the SEO. But yeah, Jellyfish, I was not. We based upon good vibes only, and the reaction to good vibes only to not bring about good vibes in me. So it was just like a lot of bad vibes. I was like, I don't know if they do it. And then it just fucking happened.
Well, you wrote it though, right? The lyrics?
I wrote the lyrics, and then Ryan Pink is on that song too. So
So it had to come
some of the
somewhere.
most notable lyrics. I like thinking of you reminds me of like shitting on the floor and pissing in the urinal. No, shitting in the urinal and pissing on the floor. Like he says some wild off the wall stuff for that. So I praise that man greatly for his contribution to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
jellyfish.
does Pink Dreamz have a dark side?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, hands down. Like our like song Dum Dum that came out was not rap at all. It wasn't hip hop at all, and to the point where I always try to release it under like East Coast, like underground, whatever. It was just like grunge and just like very influenced, coming back around from like being in my first fight at a Hatebreed concert. Very much like I was just listening to only System of a Down, Toxicity,
Oh yeah.
like the album, and just appreciating the whole greatness of that album and studying like the recording artwork and the band structure that went into making an album. So yeah, Dum Dum is just like, it's got screams in it and just like it's all about just like guitar.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to bring the guitar back around and incorporate that into a lot of the new music we're doing.
One thing I really like about Pink Dreamz, like I'm not a huge hip hop, rap, R&B guy. I don't admit to be. I like some of it. I like Eminem, like 50 Cent. I like a lot. I like some Kanye, but I'm not a quote unquote fan of the genre, right? But
yeah,
what's different with you guys, I would not label it rap or hip hop at all. Just for the fact that you can hear the instruments in it. Like you were saying, there's always a guitar in it. You can tell that somebody's playing it. I know there's bass. So that's where you guys kind of break that genre for me, just because there is some musicianship in it, which you don't always see from everybody in that genre,
Yeah, big time, man. We all started just like, it was just a big group of us that would just kind of like leave school and just go to like my mom's basement and just hang out and mastermind like these ideas to be like, we're gonna be it.
Yep.
So I swear since like 2007 it's been our year, and like maybe 1 year.
Yeah. There's still time.
But yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, it's all about too, just like, I don't know, it's like music's always been this place for me to go. It's like kept me out of like bad situations or save me, like giving me like the only strain of hope I would have at moments. So yeah, I always go back to music because it's just part of me. And,
I think it's off the same Dreamz album. The last track you have on there, Introduction, right?
yeah,
Which I don't know if you would call it a song, but we'll say it's a track. And I think it's very inspirational. Like I especially like the part you're talking about, hey, my grandmother died, I was a little kid, and my parents tried to get me to do Taekwondo or skateboard and stuff like that, and it never took. And then you said that they gave you a guitar, and you had this line, I won't be able to remember it word for word, where you said that you had dreamed of being a rock star, but in some way you already were, which I found very inspirational, even for somebody like my age, 31. I'm not gonna be a rock star. I'm a happy father, husband. I'm not going on the road. I'm not touring the world, but that doesn't mean that I can't feel like I am or act like I am in some way. I can be all those other things, but like we've been reiterating throughout the conversation, like music is us, like that's what we do. We are a million other things, but we will always be musicians, So that's that line that you had in there. It definitely hit a mark with me. I'm sure a lot of your other listeners.
Yeah, and that like thing particularly, uh I remember like my grandma died and I went to her funeral, and then after that I like came home and was like hungry, so I was like going through our kitchen and I saw bread. It was like some homemade bread that she had made. And for me, it like kind of like just made me think like, wow, like she's gone, but like something that she left is here.
Yeah.
So I've always just trying to make the biggest thing. So just for like whatever I can do for years and years and years, or moments to come, minutes or months or whatever, that just like people will know when I died that like I was here.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's not all about being Drake status. It's not all about being, I don't know, Avenged Sevenfold
Yeah.
status. It's about making the waves that you can, because the waves that you make inspire the other waves. And like part of my whole music thing was started with Tupac. And it was my first song that I ever liked was Changes. And just like he had this one interview where he said, like, I can't guarantee you that I'm going to change the world, but I can guarantee you that I'm going to spark the mind that does. And for me, I've always like worked upon that consciousness of like, really what the haters are saying in the comments here doesn't fucking matter, because I just like made this kid think that they could do this, or like this kid is gonna like incorporate that instrument into their stuff because of me. Or so many kids, to the point where it's like I know people across the world, and it's like nostalgic in a way where like I can look at it and like feel confident and say I did that.
Yeah, you guys have overall, it's a very positive message. It's not cheesy, it's not over the top, but it's just overall a message of keep pushing, always grind, do something great. Like you guys have a really good message, and that's something that's different than what's being put out in the hip hop / R&B genre too, in my opinion, where you got a lot of boasting, a lot of bling, where you guys are saying something a little different. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and two, we definitely get a little brodacious. But a lot of it is like manifestation. So I've definitely talked about places in my like songs that I've never been, but like, I mean, fuck it, bro. I'm gonna put it in there because I want to go.
Yeah.
Like,
Where does all the positivity come from? Have you always been like that, or did something happen to make you change your thought?
always been like that.
Yeah.
Always been like that. And then after the accident, it was just like kind of corkscrewed me into a way of just like always being a little bit on edge. To be honest, like I've always like kind of been like a little, I gotta go, I gotta do this right now. I have to, part of me feels like I lived because I was just like out in the hospital. And like part of me felt like just like, but I have this project, like I have this song that's gonna, so I feel like it's like I attribute it to like my survival.
All right, what happened with the accident? We've touched on it a couple times. What happened? What are the details?
We went on tour, and the tour was wild, dude. Just like, it was just me and Johnny, and we were in like a red Ford Focus station wagon, and we had like a bed made up in the front and a bed made in the back, and we made like a plan to just go down to Florida and stop at all these spots. And like, yeah, I would really like to heavily get into like the tour stuff, but we got back from tour, and then I was just like passenger in this car accident, and then I woke up in the hospital like a couple weeks later and just had like slashes in my face and stitches and like missing teeth out of my face, and like a beard. I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Do you remember what happened though? I mean, did somebody drive into you? Did you guys almost hit a squirrel and go
I
off
don't
into the
remember.
woods?
I remember like hitting my buddy up, and I got like a Perino sandwich. I had a Perino sandwich, and then I called him to like pick me up. And then like the next thing that I like remember concrete is like my dad telling me to like write down what happened that day in a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it had like been 2 weeks like around since the accident, and I just been waking up. This is what I wake up and just be like, what happened, like every day, and just kind of like start the whole thing over until my dad gave me this like notebook and told me to start writing. And then like I started remembering, and then like looked in the mirror for the first time, and like it was savage. But yeah, like I got like some missing teeth and like scars on my face, and mental anguish for
Yeah.
a decade plus. So yeah, I don't know. It's not been the coolest.
Well, you said it improved you in a way, so.
Yeah, I'm a fucking wild boy because of it. Like honestly, like I got like very heavily inspired by Kanye. And like I have the same like missing teeth, and he has like a song called Through the Wire, and like really not metal too, but like Andrew McMahon is just like, side note, that guy is like a piano god, bro.
Yeah.
Andrew McMahon.
Constantine, the 16-minute song.
Yeah, dude. Sicilian the Satellite, dude, you got to be a big fan of that one if you're coming from the place that we are. But brilliance. Yeah, so not to go off on a tangent, yeah, the accident was after the awesome tour, which we were kind of crazy on, and then changed, and I got out of Middletown. I kind of like denounced the place for a little while and went back to the music school I went to, which I will not mention by name.
Bad experiences?
No, not mentioned by name, but like the show today is not brought by them. They're not sponsored, not sponsoring this by any bit.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah, no, it's like I went to Full Sail.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a cool place for me to hang out for a little while, and I met a bunch of cool people that were on the same vibe as me, but they do not have my mention of, like you do for Monster Energy and Spotify.
Yeah, it's the sponsors that haven't paid anything yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's them. Hey, they got a chance.
Also took a lot from me.
Yeah. All right. So, you keep mentioning that you guys had going on tour and stuff. When market first, when you felt like there was a change in the band where you guys were kind of making an upward push, and where you felt like, yeah, like let's go on tour. This could be something. What are there any specific songs that you guys have released? Any moments where you really felt like, okay, this is about to take off? What had inspired going on the tour?
Tour was, we just got to do it, bro. And we made lasting connections in cities where we took the night off and just kind of like hung out. Like we were in Florida, and like one night we lied to a bunch of people and told them that we were opening it for the Maine. And like this big like group of people like in the bar thought we were all cool for a second. But yeah, we went through like Delaware. We had a show like at this just like country bar, and we had like beats. Me and Johnny had like beats, like some My Dream stuff that was like kind of like Pink Dreams-ish. And if we found like an appropriate place, all right, here's one of the stories. Yeah. So we went to this one Virginia open mic, and it was cool. It was like the most artistic spot we had been to, and like you could tell like we could do it. So we had been doing the acoustic thing the whole time. And
I was gonna ask you, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you guys do like it's hip hop kind of music. There's beats. How are you actually playing it live? Are you out there with like a laptop? You were just saying you do it acoustic.
Yeah, so like this, like when we went on tour, this is like 2010.
Okay.
We're in like the station wagon, and I had my MacBook, so that would just kind of like play like a background track.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. But most of the time, what we did majority of tour was Johnny playing bass and me playing like acoustic guitar, and we had songs that we would do and just kind of like tear open like open mic nights, like cafes or bars, you know, like New York City, or that's where we started. And then we're in Virginia, and I look at him, I'm like, yo, we've been doing the acoustic stuff. You want to bust out these beats? Like, we can totally do it at this place. So Johnny's like, yeah, let's do it. So we get up there and we start playing this stuff, but we like kind of like took the place of somebody that was supposed to go before us because they weren't all together. So we just kind of hopped up on stage.
Yeah.
So these guitar guys get up there and like, boo, boo, you suck. You suck. So I'm like, yeah, you don't think we could play guitar, bro? And then Johnny kind of just like WWE. He's like, yeah, bro, you want a piece of this? You're lucky I'm on stage right now, bro, because I can come off stage. So we legit exited the stage right off the front of it. Like, it was a nicer stage too. It was like a bar. It was like a nicer place. And then we grabbed our stuff, like our guitars and stuff, and like did like a half set of our like guitar stuff just to like shut the people up
Off the stage.
We could have kicked their fucking asses, and they weren't there when we got off our stage. So fuck them.
So how far out did you go? What was the farthest you went?
We went all the way to Florida, and then we went back. So
all on the East Coast?
Yeah, it was called the Atlantic Banks Tour, and there's like videos of it on like YouTube. And then just me and Johnny just kind of like hitting up like landmarks like across the way. Like we played a show in Alexandria, Virginia. We hung out in like Washington, DC the day before. And then we were gonna play like a show in Baltimore the next day or something like that. But we just like, there was a couple times where we just like had like ambitions to play a show, but just got like Papa John's and like, you know, just like partied out in like hotels, like, or try to like scheme ways to stay at somebody's house so we didn't have to sleep in the station wagon. Yeah.
What kind of songs are you guys playing on the tour? Any from anything that's on like Spotify or anything, or they're like old tracks? Anything I would know? Like what are you guys doing?
So technically the first Pink Dreamz album is called It's Always Been The, which was kind of like a precursor to Same Dreams, which is kind of like a burnt out like a burnt out best of. And I was just kind of going through like all the songs of past, and like some of the songs on there were from like back in the day, like me and Johnny, like 2008, singing What Else. So What Else is like one of my go-tos. It's like we started practicing after an accident, and Johnny'd be like, how do you not remember the song? And I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just like hit my head hard. It's been a little bit. But What Else, I remember all the time. We used to play that like from the ground up. And like if I like my next show, like I play with the guitar, because like that's kind of like where I think the thing is going. Because I don't know. Even with the Pink Dreamz performances, like the guitar needs to come out. So yeah, I'll always play What Else. What Else is one of our biggest hits, as being like an old head.
Yeah. So if when you guys are recording music, it's pretty much all do it yourself? You get any kind of outside help with mixing or anything like that?
Um, yeah, we've like recorded like in studios. We recorded in a studio right like on Main Street in Middletown back in the day, and then we recorded in another studio. My friend Mike, who I went to school with, who is dude, Mike Minocker. You got to get him on the show. 10 seconds, last 10 seconds of life.
That's
You
the name
heard
of the band?
Yeah,
I
the
think
last
I've
10.
heard of them before. What genre is it?
It's metal. That's metal.
Metal?
Yeah, Mike.
Listen to the name of the band. What genre is it?
Yeah. Mike Minocker is a music god. So he had like he was working in a studio that I think the guitarist from the band the Ataris
Yeah.
owned, and it was like out in Pine Island. We recorded there, and Mike did like an awesome job on what we were doing there. But now, yeah, it's hard to make time. So a lot of what we do is like go to our prospective studios and just kind of like send stuff back and forth to each other. Or like some of the Pink Dream stuff, like I have like on the Pink Dreams Net album, a couple of the songs were like straight stuff we just like rap to or like perform to on top of like a YouTube rap beat, and then I would just like take that out and replace the beat after.
Okay. So how does the so when you do Pink Dreams, it's is it mostly collaborative, or do you kind of head, a lot of the lyrics and then he'll come at you with some beats? How do you guys come together to make a song?
I'm just like the same thing with Johnny. It's just like we're best friends. So like I talk to Pink like pretty much like every day and just like toss ideas back and forth to him, and he'll make a beat and we'll use it, or I'll make a beat and we'll use it, and we make beats in like different ways. So like I'll like get a lot more into like incorporating the guitar and stuff. And then we got into like a big thing with Pink Dreams to Mixtape 3 where we just sampled songs, because it's just like we'd like to just try different things and just kind of like see where our creativity takes us. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's like any sort of plan to it. It's just
Yeah, you guys just kind of get together and
yeah, and we have seasons. So like I have songs and we have had moments of just like making music together, really being synchronized.
Yeah.
And then kind of having a falling outs. And like it's just a cycle. I've noticed it over like my friendship of years with Ryan. It's just like, yeah, dude, we're making this song, we're making this album, we're making this project, we're gonna blow up. And then we don't. And then we're kind of like, I kind of do it by myself for a little while, and then we pick it back up, and then Ryan's back into it. Like, in the interim, I might make like a diss track about him, and make a diss track about me, kind of just to like amp up the competition aspect of it. But yeah, it's like kind of like a sick thing that we all do, and it's just like not sick, but it's like what our friendship is based upon. It's just like we all love music.
Yeah.
And I think that's created the most lasting friendships and relationships in my life.
So my favorite song that you guys have, and I've told you this before, "A Little Homie." I like that song a lot. What's the inspiration behind that? Is that about a real person, or is that about your inner self?
Little Homie,
Don't name names if you don't want to. That's my favorite track from you guys. Just curious what the lyrical content's kind of about.
It's about a conglomerative person, which is I've lost like friends like over this music shit. I've lost friends over this music shit. And Little Homie is just kind of like forgiving them, I think. Kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like, you used to be my friend, and I used to be putting myself into so much shit for you, and just like, look at this, and now like this is how you treat me, like you're a fucking snake. And yeah, and honestly, Jellyfish is about the same thing. And then there's too many songs about it. So I do laugh with Pink, like on the day in, day out basis of just like kind of getting out of the mindset of just being mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Freaking, yeah.
So you guys have your longest album is the album, right?
Yeah.
That one's about 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And so a lot of what you guys are doing is a lot of singles, right? What was the thought process behind putting an album out like that?
So with Pink Dreamz, the album, that was more of a content. It was more of a like.
You felt the songs kind of had a similar kind of theme to them, and it could kind of blend together as one big thing?
I don't know. I wouldn't. I think Pink Dreamz, the album, was like, dude, you make a beat, I make a beat, crush it, let's crush it. You make a beat, I make a beat, let's crush it. Is it good enough for the album? Yeah. And then we had like a certain amount of songs, and we were like, yo, let's make these interludes and put them in between. So yeah, it's like Pink Dreamz, the album, tells like a story of the crew. It's about the friend base that like started off like in the basement, and it started off, it goes into like the Dreamz, and just like kind of like the precursor for like the Jaded Me Now that like puts out Jellyfishes and like Little Homies. But it was more of like a, come on, this is for our crew. This is for like us being in this basement. This is for us, all the times we skipped school, all the good times we had. And just wanted to make an album. So that was, I feel like I did Same Dreams by myself mostly. I think, yeah, Pink's on Same Dreams. But that was more of like a joint thing for the friends, and make as much content as we can. And that kind of got lost. I felt like I was very amped up for this big release. I did like a album release party where I had like a Oompa Loompa come, and just like it was like this, like I tried to do this big thing, and then we're releasing the singles now more like strategically, because when you put all those singles in the album after, like if you have a single with 500,000 streams, that's a gold album. So yeah, if you like put work into these single releases as like a small artist, I feel like, and then put them onto like a conglomerative album afterwards, number wise, you could get like some notoriety or recognition for putting those all together. So I don't know, there might be an album, but like I am kind of thinking about taking a little hiatus on the new year and just kind of reworking some stuff.
All right, well, can you elaborate on that? The Pink Dream fans want to know what's is there any like tension between you guys?
I feel like it's like oversaturated a lot. We're always putting stuff out, and there's a mystique in being quiet sometimes. But like I was saying this before, I feel like there's like not a place to stop. You know what I mean? I feel like you always got to be like putting your face out there and getting out there. But just like life wise, I need a little take back. So I think that might just mean kind of going into like a back room and kind of reworking some musical ideas with Johnny and Ryan, and then dude, if you want to hop in there,
Hey, whenever you need me.
Cool place, dude. So Johnny's got like he just moved back because I moved to Florida, Johnny moved to Florida, I moved back, and I've been like raging out with Ryan, and truthfully equal like to the same notions of like me and Johnny going on tour. Me and like Ryan have like own shit. Like we like got a new song called Strip coming out this month. What I'm doing, I got two more songs, and just like I like wanted to put my foot on their neck all year. So like song or more every month. Like we literally had a 7-song project come out for July for our friend that got murdered in Florida. And then rest in peace, freaking foot it on their neck all year. And I wanted to challenge myself by releasing music every month, just to do it.
So so the new project, like what are you listening to now that you want to kind of aspire to be with what you're going to be doing coming up?
The new projects?
Yeah. Like what would be some influences? What are you listening to right now? Like what kind of bands?
What I'm listening to? I listen to a lot of Pink Dreams. I listen to myself more of anything, but musically, like I have been like kind of stuck on like I listen to a lot of System. I listen to a lot of Kanye. I really, it's like for last year I did like a monthly playlist, which really kind of made me kind of take precedent on what was coming out and being up on the current, up to date. So if I like do a hiatus of like music, I'm sure there'd be like a corresponding playlist that I like put out, because it's like you gotta be in there. But I couldn't say what I exactly listen to. I listen to everything that I can get my hands on, and then I still do make CDs sometimes to listen to in the car. Like I still do like burn the CD like old school, and then like all of my buddies know that from me, like just like never being on time because I had to like finish burning a CD. And you're only like a couple years younger than me. The time it took to download a song off Napster, like
up until I got Spotify, probably like I got Spotify when the pandemic first kicked up, because I was when I was driving, I'm a big sports guy. I was always listening to sports talk radio, but the pandemic hit, all those leagues they cut out, they weren't playing anymore. So it's like, okay, well, these guys have nothing to talk about. So I tried listening to podcasts, which I could get on Spotify. From there I found like, oh well, they have pretty much every single album ever. But up until then, what I was doing, it like you were saying, it would take forever. I would go to YouTube. First of all, I would pick an album that I wanted to listen to. Grab the album's page off of Wikipedia so I could see the whole track listing, whether it be 15 songs, 38, whatever it was. And then I'd go to YouTube, copy and paste the URL link into a YouTube converter. It would have to spit it through its little thing. And then after a minute or whatever, you could finally download it, right click, put it in a folder. Dude, it was so time consuming just to listen to an album that you wanted to listen to. It would take 45 minutes to an hour.
I'm like still doing the YouTube converter. So if you got a better way, dude, you got to tell me.
Spotify. Proud
Yeah,
sponsor of the show.
that's what Johnny tells me all the time too.
You have to though, dude. You have to. It's I'm a music purist. There's no other way than Spotify though. I pay $10 a month. You get most podcasts that you want are on there. You get every album you could ever dream of is on there. They're all on there.
Yeah,
They're all
big
on
time.
there.
I got Spotify too, but just like something about making the CDs.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel like, you know, mentally it's like a time capsule of the moment, and just like I'll like pull out like the CD and it has like so many scratches on there, but if I like buff it off and get it in there, I'm like, oh
or
shit.
you breathe on it, make sure it's got the clouds, and then you rub through it.
Yeah, big time. I'm definitely always buying the CDs at Walmart and keeping my stash good to make more mixtapes.
Yep. So what are some of your favorite Pink Dreamz songs? What are some of them that you're most proud of? We keep talking about leaving your footprint out there. You know, we're gonna be long gone, but your stuff will still be on YouTube. It'll be on Apple Music, Spotify. What are you most proud of?
I am, you know, I feel like the songs make me proud. If I had to pick like one particular song, it'd be like tough because there's been so many different seasons of Pink Dreamz. And like coming from like a 32-year-old perspective, like we've been doing Pink Dreamz, it'll be 6 years this January. So I'm just like overall proud of like, we always just felt the initiative to just keep putting out songs.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, stuck through it. Creative wise, if I had to say like one song, probably Good Vibes Only 2.0. Because I felt like just kind of like encapsulated just like this like feel good moment, a lot of manifestation, a lot of less of like the little homie type jellyfish vibes, like more of just like positive thinking, like ideas of grandeur and believing in it and like going for it. Yeah, so like I love that one. Good Vibes Only 2.0. It's edited, so there's no curse words in it. Yeah, I'm one time we were at like a showcase and it was me and Pink and we went to New York City and it was going to be at this club where Nirvana played their first ever show at, and we were shit nervous. Like we went to Planet Fitness before and like worked out for like 2 hours, like trying to get pumped, like wore like the coolest clothes we could think to wear, and we got there and there were rappers and like hip hop people from like across the country, and like you felt small because people are driving out from Chicago to be there on the like whim of this notice. And like we got up there, well no, precursor, we're just like hanging out nervous and we're in the crowd and it's like one of the biggest crowds I've ever played for. And they were all critiquing you because they were all competitors. You know what I mean? So like it wasn't like a feel good, we're here for the concert vibe. It was like a us versus them type of thing.
Yeah.
And we had this thing picked out where we were going to get up there and say, you can do it, get back up again, and point to the crowd and just say like, no, you can do it. You lose this time. We win this time. You can get back up again. And I remember they just called us to the stage and they said, Pink Dreamz to the stage. And Pink's head just went down like this, like, just, it was time. He didn't really want it to be time. It was like this like moment of like pure anxiety. And then we got up there and blacked out and just like killed the shit.
Nice.
But we didn't win. I don't think we came close to winning, but it was metal.
Good.
It was freaking metal, dude.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up the music stuff in a sec, and we'll move on to your thoughts on the extraterrestrial world. But before we go over to that realm, what is your official statement to fans of Pink Dreamz about what they can expect in the future? You said that you might be thinking about taking a leave. Just give an official statement of what the future looks like.
I think the future is going to be two of the best songs Pink Dreamz has mustered up to date to finish off the new year, and then a little bit of quiet time to kind of re-gauge and recalibrate as a bigger group collectively, to like kind of like figure out where the next move is in terms of like our lives and like what we have going on, and but also like I think that everybody about Pink Dreamz knows that we talk about going somewhere a lot or like stopping a lot, but we never really do. So like, yeah, it's just like, you know, it's like a habit you can't kick, and you know, I always like want to bear like the fruits of my labor, and you know, inspire somebody. Like, you know, the fact that it inspires anybody is freaking a blessing, and like makes the dream. So yeah, we're not going anywhere, but we'll always be here, but some quiet time. There needs to be a little bit of a break.
All right, man. Well, let's move on. So the name of the show here is Headbangers at the Hangar. Of course, it's a metal-based show, but it's got that alien flair. Hangar is a tribute to the Hangar 18 song by Megadeth, of course. So what are your thoughts about what's going on in the world with the aliens, the UFO sightings? You ever seen anything? What do you got for us?
I've never seen a UFO, to the best of my knowledge.
Yep.
Because I've oversaw many things in life. But I am like a firm believer of extraterrestrial life, and have some very philosophical beliefs on the matter.
Well, you've come to the right place. What do you got?
I mean,
why first of all, why are you so convinced that they do exist?
Because we are them.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely one of the theories out there. Like a little bit more specific with the kind of timing of it. So a theory that I've heard that I don't hate is that there was something that happened similar to like what might have taken out the dinosaurs, or what, some moment in time, right, where there were humans, something happened and most of it got wiped out. But there's one theory that says there was like a tribe of people that survived, and basically they have a couple 1,000-year head start over us. So now they're out God knows where, whether it be space or in the ocean, and they're just light years ahead of us technology wise. But like you're saying, they are us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard of anything that's happened recently. But I do like consider the human race to be abnormal to just like the constructs of what the world is. Like, out of every animal species, I feel like we are different. So the one theory that I have like always thought about in the back of my brain is that there were aliens that came down here, right? And they kind of like mixed us up with primates, and left us here to mine the world, I guess,
Yeah.
per se. So yeah, I always feel like we are aliens. I do believe that they're like the head honchos up there that like, but I feel like humans are alien to the earth.
Are they peaceful?
Humans?
The
Hell no.
aliens. Yeah,
Oh,
the humans. Hell no. The
hell no,
aliens.
we
You think they have
not.
good
I
intention?
do not think we come in peace. um, I honestly, I don't think they give a shit.
Yeah.
I think they're like our managers, and as long as we're like doing the job that they need us to do.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with gold? Like, why is gold such a commodity? What makes gold such a thing throughout the ages? Like, does it like gas up there like dimension cruisers or whatever they got going on?
Yeah.
So yeah, there is such a bigger world going on, and I also would think there'd be like life in other places that is like maybe even like lower intellectual than we are on other planets, or higher on other planets. There's so many stars. It's like, who's to say what that planet, what kind of place or things it exists on that planet. But on my like general consensus of Earth, we're here by like mistake. Like we weren't supposed to be here, like, but we are. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is crazy if you think about it. Like, we are what we are. Think about right now, me and you talking to each other through a camera. And it's like you were saying, it's so different than anything else. Like a group of elephants will never do that. Like a lion or a tiger, all they care about is their next meal. Like, it's weird how humans are just completely, there's something else,
And no other animal makes like a big stink about like their carbon footprint, or how bad they're deteriorating like life. And then like he's been hanging out the whole time, but like Capo is like a French bulldog, and he's been like my best buddy since like he was born. But what Capo is he is a French bulldog, which I think is like a breed of dog that was like kind of test tube mixed up together in laboratories in England. So technically, like on the scheme of life, I don't think Capo naturally belongs here.
Yeah, if he was made in a
but
test tube in England. Yeah,
we did that.
Yeah,
we thought
so
of that.
what's to say that something
or not? I can
what's
tell
to
you
say that
giraffes.
something else didn't do that to us?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like something. If like you put up like 5 animals and a human, and you said which one doesn't belong, I think 9 out of 10 points to the human.
Yeah. So how old are your kids?
I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Okay, so if they came, let's say the 7-year-old came up to you, said, "Daddy, do aliens exist?" How far would you go with her? Would you get real with her, or would you just kind of be like, "Oh yeah, they exist. They fly around in a spaceship. Go eat your dinner."
I would have to tell her the truth and tell her yes they do, or tell them yes they do. Just like because that's like my pure belief, and yeah, there's got to be something. We're not the only ones out there. To think that would be the most egregiously narcissistic thought in the universe. It's so big. It's so big, and I think that we're definitely not alone.
Yep. My hope is that we just see some kind of conclusion before we go. We're the same age. I mean, over the last 5, 6 years, there's been so many strides on the topic, and it's more talked about in social circles. There's agencies that'll admit it, and we've come a long way in just a couple years, so what's to say that in another 40, 50 years, I mean, God knows where we'll be with the subject. My only hope is that we see some kind of conclusion. I think it's a slam dunk for our kids, but I'm just hoping that we can stick around long enough to see something,
To see like the handshake.
just see a body, just get some kind of conclusion. I just want a conclusion. I'll be, even if the conclusion was no, they don't exist, we can prove that the UFO from here came from Russia, the one over here, whatever, any kind of conclusion. I'll take any conclusion in my lifetime. That's all I ask. Alien or not, I just want a conclusion.
I hope so, that we can see that without having to take a red or a blue pill.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, man. Well, let's wrap it up. Anytime you want to come on the show and promote something, you're more than welcome, for sure. Just let me know. You're whenever, But I just want to say, for people that don't know, just tell them a little bit how I met you. I got married in September 2019, and we had a videographer all lined up, and my wife was in charge of planning everything. And the dude at the last minute just ghosted her, was gone. And we were a week away with no videographer, and somehow she came up with you and your wife's company, and we got you guys. You were awesome. And you had mentioned that you play music and stuff like that. I was like, okay, some time passed. I had put some music out in, I think, 2020, and it was an EP, something that I put out, and you emailed me one day, unprompted, nothing, and you said, hey man, the music was awesome, let's collaborate, let's do something. So I sent you a song, we went back and forth with some tracks, and it came out really good. But the more I had talked to you, I could see that you were building, and we can touch on this again in the future if you want. You have a lot of different branches, but you were building a little community, and I was diving deeper. There was a lot of other artists you were supporting, some rappers that you were putting on your songs, and basically, without being so out in the open and obvious about it, probably just for your own love of music, you were building a community where people were putting their things out, they were getting support, and I just think that that's really awesome. And it made me think a lot, that and I'm trying to do the same. I did this thing a couple months ago. It did not go great. It was called Hangar Fest. It was a little concert where I tried to get a bunch of local people on it. They did come out. There was a comedian. It was really good stuff. The crowd participation was great. The attendance, not so much. But I'm going to keep building it up. I won't be discouraged because the content was good. I'm rambling. But anyway, you encouraged me to just really get more supportive about the music scene on a local level. Like, a lot of the times you'll be on, call it Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and there's a lot of people you went to high school with who they're still in bands or they're doing whatever, where they'll put it up and you'll see that their song has 3 or 4 likes. Take the time to listen to it. Somebody, and this, somebody put that out. Somebody took the time. It's coming from somewhere. It deserves to be listened to. Go through their album, go through their EP, leave them a comment, send them an email. That's what you did for me, man. It goes a long way, and you're doing that with a lot of other people. So it's not going unnoticed.
Oh man, I appreciate that. And it's all about making a ripple effect and the butterfly effect. And I might not be the person that changes the world, but I guarantee I could spark the person that does. And I like that music because I fucking like it, and I don't need amount of likes or views to trick me into like this being cool. Like, and it did back in the day when I was little, but most of the shit I listen to has very few views, and I take pride in knowing it before everybody else does.
No.
I hear shit hit the radio after I liked it. So yeah, I have some big songs, and Ghosts That Walk the Earth, big one. I jam out to that like pretty consistently. So yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Thank you, man. I want to be here again, and this is one of the best damn podcasts, if not the best damn podcast I've ever freaking heard.
Thank you. We are. I can't say names yet, but I have a friend who's back in the day. He was kind of in the circle. He had opened up for bands like Static X, Dope, and he kept in touch with a lot of upper level kind of metalcore bands. I guess I could say that much, but we're kind of in discussions with getting some pretty legit guys. I don't want to say names, but you know, I'm building this thing up, man. Like I said, it's about community, and I'm just trying to do something different here. I don't think there's any metal/alien podcasts on here, so I'm marking my territory, you know.
It's the fucking best, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely getting Mike Monaco on this show, dude. Like that'd be like too easy. He's got like a nasty metal band. That guy is like a Wizard of Oz, and
I'll hit him up for sure. I'm always looking for some people to talk to. For sure. I'll get your info. We'll talk.
All right, brother, man.
All right, man. See you later. Thanks for coming on again.
Well, thank you for having me, brother.
All right, man. Take care.